Good day, everyone. How are you doing? My name is Vanessa Roth, and I am a global talent sourcing trainer. Today for the TRN, I want to share with you, why do we have to go and source passive talent? This is something that's really popped up on our radar recently. It speaks to the scarce skills that we have from a global perspective. And now every recruiter is responsible for trying to find people that are in scarce supply. So let's take a step back and let's have a look at what is the role of the recruiter and what do we really have to be good at these days. So for me, there are three things that in order to be a great sourcer of talent, so anyone who's in the recruitment space, the talent acquisition space, you need to master these three things. And this will explain to you where the sourcing of talent fits in. So the first thing that I believe every recruiter needs to be successful is that you need to have a solid digital footprint with an awesome online brand. So this is for a couple of reasons. You want to be standing out from the competition, and you also want to make sure that passive talent responds to you when you are sending them outreach messages, especially if they don't know you at all. This also will give you your online credibility and the kudos that you need in order to be able to chat with your candidates freely. Now, the second thing that you really need to get good at and to master is that you need to be able to find candidates that no one else can find. So as you know, I train teams all over the world. And before I start my training, I always say to people, where are you currently looking for talent? And everyone comes back pretty much with the same answer. And that is, we are utilizing LinkedIn. We pay a lot of money for LinkedIn recruiter licenses, or we are using the local job boards. Now, unfortunately, that's where everybody in the world is looking for talent. But there's so many other places that you can think about to go and find talent. I mean, you've got the whole internet at your fingertips. So for me, a good sourcer of talent, a good recruiter is going to come up with fresh and new candidates who aren't suffering from recruiter fatigue already and that nobody else is chatting with. The third thing to be a good sourcer of talent and a good recruiter these days is you need to be able to compose a compelling message that passive talent is going to respond to. So on that note, let's talk about a little bit more detail about why do we need to go after passive talent. Now, the way that we recruit has changed. If we go back 10 years ago, it was a lot easier. We would be sitting at our desks, a new order would come in via email, we would go to a job board, we would find candidates, they would already be on the market, we would interview them, we would submit our top candidates to the client would choose 1, 2, or 3 maybe that he wanted to interview, and then after that he would normally make a decision, and that would be the placement. Now, these days, it's slightly more difficult than that because talent is a lot more difficult to find, a lot more in demand across all industries, and also a lot of people are not really on the market. So they've really got what they were looking for before COVID. So a lot of people are working from home, they're very loyal to companies because the companies looked after them during COVID. So they don't really want to move at the moment. So if you're one of those recruiters who are relying on what I refer to as the spray and pray method, which also is, what I mean by that is you're posting adverts and hoping candidates are going to see the adverts and respond to them, that way, unfortunately, is not going to get you very far these days. I mean, the stats show that if you are relying on adverts and inbound applications for jobs, you literally are only tapping into 30% of the workforce. And that's not even the workforce that are going to apply for the jobs. They're just the workforce that are going to see the jobs. So we basically need to work harder now to go and find talent. It's up to us to proactively go and source people who aren't on the market, who are not looking for something new, and persuade them that you've got a much better opportunity for them. And that's what the sourcing of passive talent is all about. Also, sourcing passive talent will normally get you a better caliber candidate. So instead of submitting roosters to your client, you can submit flamingos. So let me explain this analogy to you. When you put a job out there, you normally get flooded with quite a few applications, and not all of them, or the vast majority of them, are actually not suitable. And the reason behind this is that you get a lot of people who are just taking a chance, trying to see what is out there, a lot of foreign nationals potentially, and you actually spend a lot of time going through a lot of CVs that are not relevant for the position that you advertise for. So when that happens, you get a little bit jaded about the response and you think, okay, maybe this person's all right, maybe I can put this person forward, and we almost drop our standards a bit. So instead of finding somebody who ticks all 5 boxes that are the must-haves from the client, we are normally quite happy to then submit somebody who maybe ticks 3 out of 5 of the skills that is necessary. And this for me is definitely not putting the best candidates in front of the client to ensure that our clients go through to the interview stage. So it's all about looking for that really good match, that 5 out of 5 in the candidates, and you are finding everything that the client is looking for. Also, another thing is that we need to be able to realize and think about that because us as recruiters spend all day and every day on LinkedIn doesn't mean that that's where our candidates spend their time. Candidates would rather spend time where their community and their people spend time. Also, they want to be on platforms that will enhance their careers, enable them to learn more, and to be able to share with and collaborate with people in their industries. So, for example, if you're looking for tech talent these days, they're not really hanging around on LinkedIn. They're definitely not answering messages there, but they're on platforms like GitHub and Stack Overflow and Kaggle. So we need to be able to dig deep into those platforms in order to be able to find tech talent. So as I say, we cannot just assume that everyone's on LinkedIn. We're only sitting at about a 50% rate of people in the UK who have LinkedIn accounts. And for me, it's always about, what about the other 50%? Where can we go and find them? So a little bit more research is needed in order for us to figure out, where do these people spend their time online? And another aspect of this, and this is to finish off with, is that when we go and we source passive talent, we do find a better caliber of candidate. We often find someone that, as mentioned before, ticks all of the boxes. But another thing speaks to point number 1 about being a good sourcer of talent. And that is that if you are positioning yourself as a talent magnet, you will find that a lot of passive talent and a lot of talent in general will contact you because they want to work with you, they want to partner with you. So being more active on the socials, by positioning yourself as the go-to recruiter in a particular niche, you are being a talent magnet. And that's what I would love for all of you to be honest, is that you have a good balance on your desk of, you know how to find passive talent, you know how to find them on the platforms that they prefer, you know how to reach out and approach them in a professional yet not an overly formal manner, but you also have the balance of a lot of good candidates contacting you and saying, hey, I've heard good things about you in the industry, this is my situation at the moment, would you be happy to represent me? Are you happy to partner with me? And all of those things. So guys, go out there, look for people who aren't on the market. It's definitely going to give you the edge to compared to your competitors, as these are the people that your clients wouldn't have seen. They haven't been bombarded with their CVs, and it's almost like fresh talent, fresh eyes, and I wish you all the best with this. Good luck.